So volumes, or excuse me, area between curves for number 10. Well, I mean, I guess I could figure out what those are, but if it's with calculator, why not just use the calculator? And if you're not sure you'll be able to tell which one's which, then you graph them one at a time so that you can see, oh yeah, that's what sine is. Now this one, I know what sine looks like and I know what tangent looks like, so I'd be able to tell the difference. But if you were graphing two sine waves or two cosine waves and you weren't sure, then graph them one at a time. Let's go from negative pi over 3 to pi over 3. And I really don't have any idea what my y... Oh yeah, I do. The maximum sine would get to is 1, so 2 sine x. The maximum it would get to is 2, or negative 2. So there's my sine graph from negative pi over 3 to pi over 3. Something like that. Tangent graph. Tangent of x. Ah, they must intersect at the pi over 3's. Okay. So, I'm glad we're doing one of these, because what am I going to have to do to get these areas? Okay, there's two options. I can do two integrands. I can do two integrals from negative pi over 3 to 0 and 0 to pi over 3. There's also another way to do this. If you do the whole thing, I'll show you what happens if you do the whole thing. You'll get 0 because one's positive, one's negative. So be careful. That might be an error that you'd recognize if you tried the whole thing. So two integrals is one way to do it, but if I can recognize that it's symmetrical, then I can double it. And so you can use the symmetry on some of these. So I'm just going to go 0 to pi over 3 and double it. Again, that would only work if it's clear that it's symmetric. And we don't have to go through the proof of it. You can kind of, I don't want to say trust your calculator because that's not really a good idea, but sine and tangent are both odd functions, so they are symmetric about the origin, if you want to get technical about it. 0 to pi over 3 is the black one minus the red one, so well, you know what, I can also do the trick where I label them y1 and y2 and just say y1 minus y2 dx. And then I can also use the calculator to just say y1 and y2 rather than typing in sine x and tangent of x. Although that's not really that big a deal. Math 9, whoops, I'm going to multiply by 2 first so I don't forget to do it later. 0 to pi over 3. And then the vars button to go get the y variables. y1 minus vars y2 dx, because all my slices are, or my limits are x limits, and I'm slicing against the x-axis. And so 0.614. By the way, just to illustrate what you guys knew already, if I do go from negative pi over 3 to pi over 3 without splitting it up, well then part of it is positive and part of it is negative, and so I think that's going to give me 0, and it did. So that would be one that you would recognize, wait a minute, something's not right, that's not 0 area, and you can figure out what went wrong.